welcome back. This is going to be the beginner's raindrop therapy, and I have TJ who will demonstrate the advanced raindrop therapy. Now this little guy here is Don Gigo. Now let me give you some background as to why he's so afraid. He was a rescue cat, and he was severely beaten and severely terrified when we had gotten him. So he hasn't ever gotten over that. And then, to top it all off, just a couple of weeks ago, he watched his sister get killed by a dog and actually ripped apart. So he's quite devastated. So we're doing some raindrop therapy on him. First thing we're going to do, though, is tip his ears with Trauma Life, because Trauma Life is directed for trauma, exactly as its name says. So we're going to add a drop of Trauma Life to both ears. One drop is all it's going to take. And by the end of this raindrop therapy, you're going to see a huge difference in the way he acts on camera. Right now, he's afraid. And he's shedding. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is tip his ears with lavender. Now this solution was marked test, but it kind of came off. This is a diluted mixture. For my cat. Now the regular raindrop therapy is quite different than that from what you would do on a cat. We're going to start out with the Valor for balancing. Now, the Valor in humans is usually put on the feet and on the shoulders in order to balance. But for cats and animals, you don't want to use the oils on their paws. The paws were made in order to repel and not to absorb. The quickest way to absorb in an animal is by tipping the ears. That's why you always see me referring to tipping the ears, tip the ears, tip the ears, tip the ears. It's the quickest way to get the oils into the bloodstream of an animal. Now, cats have fairly thin skin, so they absorb the oils quite rapidly. Now, when you're beginning a cat out on the raindrop therapy, you're not going to want to do the dropping section of it until your animal relaxes a little bit more. As you see, Don Gigo is pretty scared right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with some Valor. Even my Valor is diluted for cats. Usually a 1 to 5 ratio is what I use to start a cat out with, especially with the hot pheno oils. You've seen what my mixture is for that. For Valor, I do a 1 drop V6 oil, or 1 drop Valor oil to 5 drops V6 oil when starting out a cat. Tip the ears. Now, I place my left hand on the rump area, right at the base of the tail. I place my right hand between the shoulder blades for energy balance. And now he's relaxed enough that I can move him the way I need him to sit for the raindrop therapy. And now I can balance his energies even further. Generally, I have a relaxing tape going on or a CD with natural drumming in the background. But for the purpose of the VCR tape, I didn't do this so that there would be no sound distortion. Okay, now for a beginner raindrop therapy, I put the oil directly in my hand, a squirt, instead of dropping them on the skin of the cat. And then I do a massaging motion for the animal. I put the oils down the spine first. Don Gigo doesn't really like it coming up the spine as such. He likes the downward motion. Each cat is different. You'll find a cat that would like it coming up like this, but most generally cats like it coming down. And then I massage, starting at the base of the tail, and I work my way up. And then we feather coming down. And you can feather coming back up using your fingers. Again, feathering is different on a cat than it is a human. And you'll see that I'm kind of parting the skin, the hair here, because he's doing so good. He might like a couple of drops of oil up his spine. As you can see, I've made a part in his hair. And as you can see, how much he's relaxed. Now, we can move into the advanced raindrop. And that's by holding the bottle above the cat, a couple of inches, and dropping the oil directly on the spine. And then you rub it in. The whole process for a cat can take anywhere from 5 minutes to a half an hour, depending on your cat, how well it's receiving its raindrop therapy, and how long it'll tolerate it. Always go by what your cat is telling you. Don Gigo right now is telling me he's enjoying this. So I'll go in to a different massaging technique. Making sure to work the base of the spine very well. Then working my way up to the medulla oblongata. And I like working, personally, from the medulla oblongata down to the sacral spine area, the base of the tail. Because when I was learning, I was always taught that the medulla oblongata is where all of your senses come together and where you receive all of your spiritual readings, all your spiritual connections come from the medulla oblongata. And that's what I was told ever so many years ago. And it's kind of stuck with me. So I've been reprogramming even myself to start at the base of the spine and work up. But I also find myself liking to work the medulla oblongata area right here. The medulla oblongata is also called the brain stem. And as you can see, the difference in Don Gigo after receiving a modified raindrop therapy. Now we're just going to let him lay here and soak up the attention and the love. And when we come back, I'm going to introduce you to TJ, the creator of the raindrop therapy.